Welcome to Are You Sure, where the road goes ever on. Got
Down
music.
from the road.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mike won't be joining us tonight due to other obligations, but the rest of us are here, and Abby and I survived our road trip despite a 25-hour driving day.
It was so much fun.
It was great. I don't recommend it.
Not at all.
Are there any other announcements before I get to my last one?
Yeah, how do you have a 25... Go ahead. Ladies first.
Yeah, I still need to catch up on that. Okay, anybody else?
I'm reminiscing on my hostile takeover.
Well, get used to it, kid. So the last announcement is after this story arc in the Crossroads, we'll be ending the stream, mostly due to lack of consistent play times and other life pressures are making it more of a chore than an enjoyment. So we'll be continuing the campaign, but just won't be streaming anymore. So we'll see. It may be tonight. It may be next week. Maybe a month from now. It just depends on how the story goes. I just want to finish this candy bar before we open up another one. All right. So to get back into it, we pick back up. You guys had gathered. You gathered at Wild Jack's with the Ratcatcher leader Keldon, the Orc matron Great Mother Alga, Yara Iltaz, and Sarah Gildman and Ulrich Stout of various companies, all of which have major say in the Crossroads and Exland as a whole, with the intent of properly welcoming this VIP delegation from Ironwood, particularly from the Pale Elf matriarch. Stannis was requested by an injured Commander Salrash to represent the interest of the cadre in this matter and to kind of guide the Crossroads in the correct direction. The rest of you, he had requested the orc-raised tiefling Korash to accompany him, and Dahlia and Sunya are attending him, and Morvan had stepped out because Ironwood elves were coming, and something had concerned him. So near the end, last time, there was an empty room, the door had opened, but nobody visually had come in, and so Jack presented sort of like a prepared statement, and then two elves, a pale elf and gold elf in very similar armor, appeared, with the pale elf sitting in a prepared chair, with the gold elf heavily armored standing beside her, essentially saying, "We have accepted your invitation." So initial reactions from the group.
Sunya would be just leaning against something as usual, trying to figure out the various people and if any of them were a threat, just standing ready for defense.
I'm going to say go ahead and give me... Are you proficient in insight?
Not particularly. Let me see.
I would say go ahead and give me an insight check, and if you're not proficient, give yourself proficiency for this check, because you're checking like kind of the threat level, which you would be proficient in.
Okay, I upped it to proficient. Oh, I sure did. 25.
Oh yeah. Whew. Okay, yeah. So is there anybody in particular you're looking at, or are you looking at the elf?
The main three, the main people of the triad that she can see, she would be watching, and their bodyguards, of course, which will probably be more of a threat than they will themselves.
Yeah, so you're looking at the group and at the two elves, and the first thing you notice is that there are two elves, and it's called an Iron Triad. You see a pale elf and a gold elf. You do not see a green elf.
Do I see any bodyguards without a third member of the triad?
It is just. I mean, the Iron Triad is just the elves. The rest of the bodyguards for the various companies. There are three of them, but those are not in particular triads. It just happened to be three guards because that's what Eldon was told.
My question is, there are only two elves, but are there some bodyguards for the missing third, or is the entire group?
No, there aren't. Who you see on the screen is who's in the room. So there aren't. It is just those two elves.
Okay. Alga and Yara are the elves? Because I have Alga, Yara, and Sarah. Okay, down there. Okay, I was looking up.
Keldon, Alga, Yara, Sarah, and Ulrich are the business people that got brought in. These two are the elves down here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and as far as them with a crit. They look like if they really wanted to, they could probably take most of the room. That would be you guys might be able to give them a run for their money, but as far as like any of the other individual groups here, yeah, they could easily wipe the floor with them.
Yeah, so she'd go into defense or die kind of mode, just standing ready.
Okay. Well, Jack. Well, thank you for coming. We are the Council of and the Pale Elf just holds up a finger and just says, "Forgive me. We know that you are all very busy people, so we have come with a very simple statement, and it is prepared. If you would permit me to read it without interruption." No, go on ahead. She says, "We are here as representatives of the Triumvirate, specifically Matriarch Ashamune. She wishes to extend her condolences in this time of uncertainty and to let the people of Exland and the Crossroads know that their neighbor to the north is ever ready to provide aid and assistance to her people. However, the matriarch is also aware of grimmer tidings from across the seas and over lands. An attack on Madis, similar to the one here, uprisings and rebellions in the Heartlands, treachery in Idris, and decades of magical devastation in Yazatli. Norath and Taliscan are both engaged in decades-long bloody civil wars, and it is the unfortunate fate that Exland finds herself without many ways to defend herself from outside attacks, and with few allies. Our radiant matriarch would be one of them if you would have her. Matriarch Ashamune is willing to extend the riches of Ironwood down across Exland, such as her people have long known. Greenkeeper Will Varja has promised to aid in the maintenance of Exland's crops to ensure bountiful harvests for the people for long winters. And Arsta, our beloved Gold Leaf King, has sworn to bring stability and security to your ancient and conflict-ridden lands. All that would be required is status as a protectorate of Ironwood."
What would that mean? This is me asking out of characterly. I don't think I understand.
I think out of characterly I understand, but I would want to roll an intelligence to see if Sunya is smart enough to figure out that it means you have to bend the knee to us and you aren't a sovereign body anymore.
Yeah, go ahead. Whoever doesn't think they have an idea in character can go ahead and give me a history check.
All right. Yeah, because Stannis doesn't really know too much about the elves, seeing as he's from
Ouch.
he still doesn't know really, I guess.
Yeah, as far as like the specifics of it, it's the word protectorate is pretty much a satellite state. That's a pretty well known concept, but the specifics of what being a protectorate of Ironwood means, you would not know. Well, and Jack sort of looks over to the different leaders and then fixates on Stannis and says, Commander, what's your take on this? Do you in the cadre's opinion, how vulnerable is the crossroads?
I would still be standing up. I wouldn't be sitting down with my arms behind my back, basically like a military pose. And I would say, to my understanding, we do not believe the crossroads is in any immediate danger, although with the current happenings between the crossroads and Medis, it would be foolish to believe that danger is far away.
Guildman, Sarah speaks up. Yeah, but how high are we talking in terms of taxes and whatnot? I mean, we're all rather comfortable here, and Crossroads has stood for centuries. With every couple decades, your group, you send one of y'all down here to try to negotiate, and every time we send you away. So why are you bothering now? And the pale elf looks over to her and just says, well, these are extraordinary times. There are a lot stranger threats than usual, and frankly, an entire district of yours just exploded in a moment. So, and Jack speaks up. Now, we would need a moment to discuss this. Would you mind? Hold on a moment. We would need a moment to discuss this. Would you allow the council to confer to discuss your very generous proposal? And she nods and snaps her fingers, and the two elves disappear. And then a few moments later, the door opens and closes again. And then the room just erupts with arguing.
I just stand there just looking at them all, still in my military stance.
Except that Sunya has her arms crossed across her chest. She's pretty much the same thing, just looking back and forth at all the arguing.
Yeah, it's just erupting into chaotic arguments.
And Dahlia is biting on her lower lip so hard that it's kind of almost bleeding because she's trying so hard not to say anything because she doesn't have any authority here. So.
Now, you say that these apples are from Idris? I'll take a dozen. And do you have any cider or anything? Marvelous. I wonder how the negotiations are going. I'll have all this to go. I really need to be going now. I'm a little bit late. Of course, as you know, I can see the future, so I'm never really late.
A wizard is never late.
I was gonna say I'm waiting for that Gandalf line. I would actually look back to Karash calmly. What's your take on this?
It's a bunch of fucking talking. Why don't we just suggest that?
Soon Ya makes a face and says, I am glad this is not being held in the desert. My people would not take kindly to control.
Small wonder they're here. And not off in Medice. Shows how much they actually want to help.
I have my suspicions.
And Jack is he's just about trying to hold Guildman back from drawing weapons as Keldon is pointing and shrieking at her.
Right. I would assume that I don't go unarmed anywhere. I would probably assume I'd still. Yeah, I would have my Warhammer. Yeah. I'm assuming that it's also because it's a two-hander. It's pretty big. I would just take it down, hammer down, and just start doosh, 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 like a judge with a gavel.
Talk about a giant gavel.
Just give me a straight charisma check.
Yeah, because I'm really good at charisma.
I think this would be intimidation.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me intimidation. So, do you have proficiency in intimidation?
No, it's just a +1 to that, so 11.
Okay, so, the room is of the room. Keldon and Ulrich, they sort of glance your direction, and Keldon seems to back off a bit. Ulrich is just shifty-eyed and nervous.
Right.
Olga just sits back and folds her arms, and Yara and Sarah start conversing off to the side.
How about we begin speaking calmly, plainly, instead of yelling and accusing one another?
Right, I agree. Keldon scratches at his jaw. All right, so we're essentially deciding whether or not the oldest of the unaffiliated cities should give up its own sovereignty to one of the largest nations and most powerful nations the world has ever seen. My personal opinion is that there's literally nothing that can stop a giant glowing silver thing from coming out of the sky and blasting a hole in the ground. It doesn't matter who we live with. The only thing that would matter is, can we support our people in the fallout? And personally, I think we did just fine. So
I do agree with that. It could have been a whole lot worse when Karak had fallen.
I do not often speak, but I would say something here. As I listen to the man who is called the Watcher, he does not wish to destroy the entire world, at least at the beginning. He wishes to terrorize them so that they will bow to him and follow him into the hells. I do not think he wishes to wipe you all out. He wishes to make you afraid. Are you afraid?
When Sunya is speaking, Dahlia's expression goes from carefully neutral to, oh my god, but the people to the right of us are completely affiliated with the Watcher. What are you doing?
Ulrich nods. Yes, I am afraid.
Sunya would just stare down at the people who are part of the others, and she says, I say this because do you need these elves to protect you if you are not going to be wiped out?
They all look at each other. Great Mother Algo speaks. No, but perhaps it would be better to have and access to an actual army, should the need arise, then, and she looks over at Keldon.
I'll speak up.
Keldon seems oblivious to that.
I'll speak up. It is indeed wise to at least think it over about the fact that they do have a standing army. As far as I know, the Crossroads has none. That is also saying, for those who may not know, the cadre cannot take sides on political matters such as this.
No, but we do value the cadre's opinion, particularly because the entire city grew up around the Dragon Fort and Karak, and one of those no longer exists.
Aye. But at the same time, I'm also wary because I'm just a simple doer from Taliscan before I joined the cadre. I've never encountered anything regarding the Ironwood, so I have no idea if they'd even be willing to allow the cadre to continue to exist here.
Go ahead. You would know that there are cadre outposts in Ironwood. Like, the cadre does maintain a few posts there.
I guess more along the lines of, should they decide to invade, I don't know if they will ignore the cadre's Dragon Fort. And I don't know if everyone in the cadre would be willing to look a blind eye as well.
Yeah. That's true. We would not want to bring undue war upon the Crossroads. I can only speak for my district and my business affiliations, and I would say that the Crossroads has stood by itself for so long that to be intimidated by somebody who wants us to be intimidated would be a grave misstep. And Gilbin shoots up out of her chair and just says, "And the only reason you want that is so that you can keep a stranglehold on our finances." And Jack looks over at the group of you and
I think it's about more than finances, honestly.
I would say it is about survival.
Well, no, that wasn't quite where I was going, but I was more going to say that, look, there's no guarantee that any of you would be able to practice anything freely with the elves having an iron grasp over this place. Never mind, Jack, no offense. I'm sure that no matter what happens, Jack would be fine, but you have a freedom here that you can't get anywhere else. And is it really worth giving that up for the theoretical promise of protection against something that nobody's been able to protect against so far?
Iltez speaks up and says, "I've had a lot of business in Exland and I have business in other places as well. And I can tell you it's a lot easier to do business in a place where you know what the laws are and how they're going to be applied, Keldon." And the fat Eric Okra just... If I had my way of it, Crossroads would have become a protectorate decades ago, centuries ago.
In the desert, following the wars between my people, we had a saying, "Better the devil that you know than one you do not."
And Gildman looks over, and Alga looks over to Jack and just says, I don't know about that. Jack looks actually like, kind of, what the hell did I do? Alga pushes herself to her feet with kind of a creaking, popping sound because, straightens out her knees and says, we've long had our freedoms here, yes. And we all know each other, and frankly, I think we all hate each other. But is all this chaos worth it to you to keep things the way they are? Or would you rather... So the choice that we have here is either embrace the control of Ironwood and the stability it would bring, but sacrifice the freedoms, or keep things the way they are and risk being attacked again. But we would have that freedom. What is it worth to you? What would it be worth to you, Commander?
But before I even answer, as she did speak this, can roughly guessing how close is Darkhill to the Ironwood?
Darkhill to the Ironwood. Let me check really quick. Darkhill. It's definitely closer to the crossroads. It's about almost 200 miles. And then from the crossroads, it's about 130.
So Darkhill is closer to Ironwood than it is to the crossroads.
Darkhill is closer to the crossroads than it is to Ironwood.
Huh. Okay. And then what was Elga's question again?
Would you trade your freedoms for protection, or would you, at the risk, basically, would you give up your freedom to have the stability, or would you keep the freedom and risk being attacked from any angle?
Sunya mutters something behind him, and he would probably, even though he didn't understand it, realize that it had to do with her people made that choice decades or a century before, and
right.
They chose freedom.
Me honest opinion, I would always choose my freedom.
And what about you, Dahlia? I think I already know the answer.
Those who would trade liberty for security deserve neither.
Well, okay. Could I get... Who would like to do an appeal roll for me?
What is an appeal roll?
Yeah.
So, when you guys worked through and did your prepping and your armor prepping and outfit getting and all that, I basically gave you guys stats associated with that you are not aware of.
Oh, okay.
And it essentially results in a +4 to a d20 roll. So, Wes, since Morgan's not here, could you give me a could you give me a 1d20 +4 roll?
Can I know what number I'm aiming to beat at least? I like what it was for the first roll you made.
It was not. I did not do a first roll. Basically, I took everybody's charisma rolls from their outfits. And
That's only a 1d20 plus 1. You need a 1d20 plus 4.
Yeah, you need a 1d20 plus...
But he's not even here. He's not even here.
Yes.
But he's...
No, he didn't.
Somewhere.
That's a nat 1. Yes!
Somewhere, Morvan. I sense a disturbance. in the not force.
In all fairness, he's excited about this because he's been planning this during several 25-hour drives. So
I quote the last line to Casey at the bat. Somewhere the sun is shining, somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville, mighty Casey has struck out.
I believe the 13 should be used because we're actually present as opposed to Morvan.
No, it makes perfect sense that the character who's not here gets to do the big role. Welcome. It's D&D.
Just remember,
Okay.
you all chose this path.
It's okay. I'm just going to
No.
say that.
I
Here's the thing. I'm just going to say the 13 wasn't really enough either.
It was better than a 1.
Yeah. The way that the gone, the 13.
Literally, any other number on that die is better than the 1.
Yeah.
So,
So-
I think we should. I think we're at agreement that this is the point where we make the vote, and Keldon, your influential figure in the Crossroads. How do the rat catchers vote, Keldon? We vote independence.
Tunya gives a fist pump.
That's kind of disturbing. Not the fist bump, but
Great Mother
it's
Alga.
disturbing. No.
Great Mother Alga. How does the Talk United vote? She says. We vote to join Ironwood.
Fucking orcs.
Iltaz. How do y'all vote? Hello?
I'm watching.
We vote to join Ironwood. Mr. Stout, how does the mining consortium vote? And Ulrich looks at Keldon, looks at Jack, looks at Stannis, looks at everybody else. I don't like pressure. We vote, and then Yara sort of glares at him. We vote to join Ironwood.
Tunya is just glaring
I
at
speak up at that. What do you really want to vote, lad? Don't let anyone influence you. Close your eyes. Speak with your heart.
I need you to give me a what would it be? It'd be a persuasion check. Give me a persuasion check.
God, why am I rolling 10s? These
We're
are my
all-
1s right now.
Except for my one good roll, they've all been bad.
I'm sorry, Commander. Just we're not a great large group, and frankly, we need Ironwood at this point.
That's better. That's better than you looking at her for guidance. Better thought. Good on you.
Ms. Guildman, how does Sarah pulls out a weapon and fires at Wildjack?
Hold on. Let me see if I have something to do something.
I'm going to say you and Sarah need to roll initiative to see if you go first before
Okay.
her or not.
Can I come back soon?
No, you can't. Sorry.
Why do I? Oh, no. Hold on.
Tunya'd even opened the door for him.
You could be upstairs if you want.
Oh,
That's a big
Stannis.
fat 2. Also, I think I have to take a look at a previous stream to see how my initiative was, because I was pretty sure I had more than a +0 for my dexterity.
What is your dex at now?
It's at 10, and I'm pretty certain that I had it at a 12 at least. Either way, I'd still be lost because she has an 18 for her.
Yeah.
But like, I think I'm supposed to have more than a 0 for my initiative. I've been pretty good at making my characters to have at least some kind of bonus in initiative. But yeah.
Oh dang. Okay. So let's see. She rolls a 23 to hit, which will hit. And then Jack has to make a con save.
What is she firing at him?
It appears to be a hand crossbow.
At least it's low damage, unless she's a rogue, which she has seat attack. You know, that would be...
Yeah, Jack failed, so Jack will take 8 piercing damage and 21 poisoning damage.
Or that.
Okay, what the heck? Do we really need to do this?
Sunya has her swords out and is preparing to launch herself.
Jack has to make a concentration check. Nope.
We get to see the real wild Jack.
Jack loses concentration on the spell that they were concentrating on.
Oh my god, is that Leia?
You're gonna wish it was.
You're gonna wish it was, yeah. So,
Okay, hold on.
Have I been?
Before you do it,
have we been dealing with a demon this whole time?
before you reveal it, any guesses from the party?
I know, so I can't say anything.
I'd love to hear the guesses.
Have I been dealing with a demon this whole time?
You don't know.
Yeah, that's why that's my guess. Is it's a demon.
It's a demon. Okay.
I'm going to guess. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Sunya.
Not even gonna guess.
It's
What do you
one of
think?
the strewn tossed dwarves.
One of the string customers.
One of the actual strewn tossed.
So Jack, so the bolt hits Jack in the shoulder, and it just causes a rippling effect across their body. You see that their
Oh my
height
god!
doesn't really change. What? Oh, it's morphing.
No, the other one, is it Marty?
Marty.
Nope. Their height
Okay.
doesn't really change. What they're wearing doesn't change. Still wearing the boots, the coat, the high collar and everything. But their hair just sort of explodes out into a mass of writhing something. It's kind of hard to see for a moment. And the skin kind of pulls into a much more feminine shape and has sort of it looks almost like gray or white with a greenish pallor to it. And their eyes just suddenly like erupt into sort of an orange glow. And then you see at the very end of each of these like tendrils coming out of their head is like a small snapping, hissing mouth.
Jackson
A Medusa?
And you can see that now in the shape is extremely feminine.
Okay, I'll say it for the party. The literal fuck.
Oh my.
Ooh. What do I know?
Jack just looks down at themselves and just kind of and immediately like goes to cover their eye.
Oh, because it's their eyes that can turn stone, right?
And they just immediately just start looking down, and Sarah pushes herself to her feet and says, "That's what's been dealing with us. That's what's been controlling us, and that is what's trying to get us to remain weak and vulnerable. And Alga looks over at Sarah and essentially nods in agreement.
So, who did the crossbow thing?
Sarah.
Sarah? I command her to drop her weapon.
Okay, let's see how that goes.
If I can submit it, then we will do it. Does higher
Doesn't
level
matter.
matter?
She rolled a 2.
Okay, yeah. Well, I didn't know if when as a higher level, one additional creature. I will actually do it to a sec, because who was the other person that they were conspiring with? Was it Yara?
Yara, yeah. Yara is not holding anything in his hands.
Oh, then yeah, it would have been level 1.
And she just... Are the cadre in league with this thing?
This thing is Jack.
This thing's been controlling us for... God knows how long.
Were they controlling you through special mind powers, or were they just really good at
No,
business?
something more insidious. Our pocket.
Oh, so they were just really good at business, and you're just not good at business. Is that what you're saying?
And Keldon leans back and looks at Sarah's.
See, now here's the thing. I actually trust Keldon now. With his vote,
This got weird, didn't it?
It did get weird. I did not trust him. Now I actually do. 100%.
Yeah, he actually gained points with Sunya too.
It's not even
Dahlia
that.
doesn't-
I,
doesn't trust
I'm thinking the big picture right now.
Well, Sunya is all about
Good old
independence.
The door opens and then closes.
Oh, they're back.
What was that, Sunya?
Sunya would have definitely had a better opinion with Keldon simply because her people are all about freedom and independence. That's everything that has created the situation they're in, basically.
Dahlia says with a little bit of irritation, with all due respect, your elfinnesses, we've given you the respect of showing ourselves. The least you can do is return the favor.
Jack casts Disguise Self again and turns back into
Himself.
their
Back-
previous appearance.
Turns back into Jacqueline.
And the two elves appear again, and the pale elf looks over at Dahlia and says, "That is acceptable. Is this a bad time, or are you ready? Or has the council come to an agreement of sort?"
Considering that we're attacking ourselves for no blatant reason, I'd assume that this is actually not a good time.
I'm pretty sure the council came to an agreement whether we're unanimous or not.
And over on a table, sort of behind Ulrich, is a elf suddenly appears, kind of tan skin with sort of like a greenish hue to it, dark hair, and the same sort of armor that the two other elves have. They came to an agreement that allying with Ironwood would be better.
That's really rude.
But expected.
Jack looks over at Sarah and
Sunya speaks up in the brief silence and looks at Sarah and Yara and says, "This," and she throws her head towards the elf that had been invisible. "This is what you voted for."
Yara and Sarah and Alga look at the elf that just appeared, and then the other two elves that are there. I can't speak for these other two, but my word is my word.
In all fairness, I don't think their word necessarily has to do with freedom or not freedom. I think it has to do with screwing Jack over. But welcome to business.
Jack looks over at the group of you. Could each of you give me an insight check?
Why am I not on the right page? Oh, because I'm still on my spell page. Insight.
F and 8.
13. Man, I am just not doing good at rolls at all tonight.
I used up my one extraordinary roll. It's over.
Oh my god.
So yeah, so Jack is looking over at the group of you.
So I'm assuming Dahlia got it, seeing as
Dahlia did get it, yes.
Okay.
Actually, I think Stannis got it too. Let me send it to you too.
Oh, sweet. Oh, jeez.
Dahlia suddenly looks slightly panicked. And after a beat, very slightly shakes her head like, are you crazy? No.
I mean, the name is Wild Jack.
I mean,
Oh,
that's
no.
fair. But still, she just sort of looks, and eventually, after a beat, she's kind of like, I mean, like, if you're really committed, then yes.
I look at Wild Jack, and then I look towards the elves, and I just raise my head a little bit, not giving off anything. Maybe they need to roll an insight.
Yeah, they would need to roll an insight to look at you.
Meaning Wild Jack. I don't know about the elves because that's what I meant. As I raised my
let's see.
in reaction to Wild Jack.
Yeah, Jack got a 23 to insight you, so you're given kind of like a non-committal. Yeah, whatever. And Dahlia's being like, abort.
And Sunya's being like, huh?
My, what fine yet rustic architecture.
Yes.
Morvan. You can
Oh, I
come in at
just
this point
noticed
if you'd
that there
like.
was a mural on the ceiling.
You'll need to add me a Papo.
Like to the field. Were you up?
Yes.
Were you upstairs or outside?
He was out by an apple.
Okay, so you would come in. The door. Wilhelm looks over and goes. The green elf looks over at Morvan as he enters and doesn't seem to otherwise react.
Oh dear, I'm running a little bit late. Hello, everyone.
And who is this? The pale elf looks over at the group of you.
Oh, I am no one important, but it's nice to see you.
One who travels with us. No one in
Do I know this?
particular.
Ah. Alga looks over. So you came late.
A diviner is never late, Mother Alga, nor is he early. I arrived precisely when I meant.
To be fair, with my thing that started the episode, I deserve this.
Yes, you do. You deserve all of it.
Jack looks over at Sarah suspiciously.
I look over to the elves, and regardless of what happens with the consensus with the rest of the council, I have my own concerns. That would be on behalf of the entirety of the cadre.
And what would be these concerns, Commander?
Any affiliation that you have with one Martigrin Grey.
Martigrin Grey. I do not know this name.
Also
You
calls
should-
himself the Watcher. Also calls himself the Flint King.
I do not know this name.
Do your leaders know these names?
I do not know everything the matriarch knows.
Then this
If
is
she, if she knows, that would be her business. My business is not to question who or what she knows. My question is to execute her orders.
Stannis, you
Very well.
probably should leave it there.
no.
Dahlia is now in full face palm mode. Her glasses almost falling off.
Yeah, I look at Morvan. That is Commander Stannis. And then I look back to the elves. This person that I have just described, Martigrin Grey, is wanted by the cadre for summoning demons into this world. And you know what this entails, yes?
I would presume that this entails that you mean to capture or kill him to prevent him from summoning demons into the world, correct?
Aye.
A noble goal well within your authority.
So I would respectfully request you to pass this along to, I believe you said your superior was your queen.
Yes, the matriarch Ashamne.
Then I would respectfully request the matriarch to be aware of this situation, and if she happens to know of this being, to inform the cadre of his whereabouts.
I am, again, I'm not certain who or what the Queen knows, but I will make sure that it is known that the cadre are looking for this person.
Thank you.
We have no interest. We, our Queen, the Gold Leaf King, and the Archdruid have no interest in interfering with the cadre at all.
That is good to hear.
It would be deplorable for anyone to do so.
Aye, it would be. And I give a little side eye to Keldon. Mainly to the rat catchers, not Keldon himself.
He gives a look at you like, the fuck, dude?
Well, I don't look, like I said, I give side eye
Yeah.
not to him, but to catchers.
The group in general, yeah. And the pale elf looks around. It is decided then. We shall, if there is no other business, we will take our leave to rest, recuperate, and then return northward with your message, unless there is other matters to attend to.
No other matters.
And Jack shakes their head. No. We thank you for your arrival. Please enjoy our hospitality as on the house, if you wish. And she dusts herself off and says, no, thank you. We have other accommodations. we would not wish to impose any more than we already have. And she looks over at the green elf, who kind of almost slithers off of her chair and makes her way over to the group. And they're standing at attention, about ready to leave, when the gold elf like elbows her, and she's like, "What?" Sorry for being in the room without announcing myself. But we did not know what your demeanors were, and sometimes you have to bend the rules a bit. Ow, 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 stop it.
I don't
Get
begrudge
the truth.
I don't begrudge precautionary measures.
And the pale elf speaks up. In truth, we did not know if we would just walk in here and be assassinated.
Exactly.
But as it stands, the gold elf says, our business is concluded. We wish you all good health and prosperity. And they begin to make their way out. Unless somebody wishes to stop them.
I can't really think of anything to say.
And Sunya wouldn't. She's just kind of glaring at them with her arms crossed.
The decision has been made. The wrong one, but the decision.
Ulrich stands up and goes, thank you, everybody. Gentlemen, we should go. We have lots of business to attend. Yeah, lots of business, yeah.
I would advise you to cash out any coins that you have, the ironwood gold coins. You'll need them.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah.
And if you would like a primer on all of the import and export laws, I'd be happy to take a few days to discuss them with you in exhaustive detail.
Actually, that'd be very, very helpful if you could come by sometime next week. Would that work for you?
The entire week? You may need 2. There are quite an exhaustive list of laws to obey.
I look forward to it. It sounds riveting.
Oh, it absolutely is. Take care, little one.
Excuse you.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was not me. I think it may have been the commander here. Have a nice day.
I figured it was your sidekick. Your little bird sidekick.
Yeah, can I just say out of character here that I love it that our group has a collective charisma of 4.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I have pretty good. No, I don't have a good persuasion. It's insight that I'm actually pretty good at. Never mind.
Elga and the group start leaving, and as they pass, she looks over at Jack and just says, "Be careful going forward." Yes, Arcafor.
Huzzah!
The days of this place running things have come to an end, Commander.
Great mother, right?
Yes.
Yeah, great mother.
Sunya will lean towards Dahlia, thinking that perhaps she knows a little bit more about such things, and will say, how will the goddess take this?
I don't follow her myself, but as I understand, with her being a trickster goddess, I think that she'll land on her feet. And I wouldn't worry too much about Jack.
Yara and his group pass.
And I give him a long, hard stare. The others, I don't really make any motion outside of Great Mother bowing my head. My head is in tandem with him moving.
And Sunya literally turns her back on him to talk to Dahlia.
And Sarah and goes to pick up her hand crossbow and tuck it away. And Jack looks over. Oh, Sarah. Yes? And then her and the two guards next to her immediately petrify.
Oh, thank
Like
goodness.
just immediately stone. And the one behind him is like, and he pulls out his crossbow, goes to take a shot, has to make another save. Also succeeds, and he actually goes to take a shot at Jack. So, if you'd like to roll initiative.
I already did.
I am staying out of this. This is their fight. So while this is happening, I go to grab my
Now
hammer
I crit.
and I see what happens.
Now I crit.
See that it's happening, but then I just go back to my regular pose, putting my hands behind my back.
Tsunya, you get to go first.
Sunya grabs her bow and whips off a shot at the guy. I didn't mean silvered arrow, but anyway, to hit.
That'll hit. And he has to make. No, he already did make the con save. And he goes ahead and takes his shot. Actually, no, he doesn't take a shot. He doesn't have anything. He pulls out a long sword and a short sword and charges at Jack and just swings. Hitting once and dealing 7 slashing. Jack has to make another con save. Succeeds. Now it's Jack's turn.
Oh boy.
May not be as crazy as you think. Let's see. He's going to cast Phantasmal Force. So the guy suddenly starts thinking that the ground is erupting underneath him and opening up into a yawning, biting thing. It just starts, suddenly he just starts, ah, shit! And Dahlia.
Dahlia doesn't attack. She just wanders over to the tables over here. And puts both hands on a chair, pulling it out slowly. And that's my turn.
Morvan.
Which she lights on fire and throws into the room.
I'm assuming that those statues are medium item or medium object.
They would be medium objects.
Oh dear.
You have to. You have to. You already have the.
I'm required by law to cast animate objects.
This is the copyrighted spell of all Arcafor characters.
Let's see. I can
what does it do? Can you click it?
It seems like it's a bit of an issue with how it was transferred over. So there's just the raw data. I'm going to post like a link to the spell. Do you have D&D Beyond?
I do not.
I am
I
thinking
can
about
pull it.
getting it on mine.
Yeah, if you pull it on Roll20, it'll do it. I'm also going to post it.
I can pull it. Okay. Let's see. Objects come to life. Okay, so it's a medium, so they've got an HP of 40 AC. Okay. Neat.
We now have some big stoned statues swinging about the room.
It's the return of the baby head.
There's the baby heads.
Yay!
So
All three of the baby heads are going to just move over to the last guy and just pummel the crap out of him.
you beat a mofo with another mofo.
Did the two 20s hit?
The 220s hit, yes.
Good lord.
So that's 4d6 total.
That is 9 and 8 damage.
Oh man. Sunya, we're back to you.
Oh, what fun. Okay, she fires again at the one living guy because she's not going into the swarm of baby head statues around, so she just fires her bow. And a 19 for 6 damage.
That'll hit. The veteran is frankly freaking out. Takes 1 damage from the biting floor. And decides that, if nothing else, at least killing Jack will work for him. And he does not avert his gaze, goes to attack. This guy has rolled above 20 for all of his petrification con saves, so kudos to him.
Right?
He's hanging in there.
He's just asking to be killed instead of petrified.
Okay, Jack has to make another con save. Greatly succeeds. And then this guy is just going to start
GTFO.
bolting. Yeah, he's going to start bolting.
Which does mean attack opportunity.
They are part of a spell, not creatures. Jack gets an attack of
Aw.
opportunity. The baby heads do not. Jack will take it. Snakehead. So one of the hair tendrils shoots out and snatches at the back of his neck as he runs, dealing 6 piercing and 12 poison.
Ouch.
Is he dead yet?
He is not.
Son of a bitch.
Tough little son of a gun.
Then we are at Wild Jack's turn. They just lift their hands and 3 Eldritch Blasts shoots up.
I would save my Corvette.
Yeah, that'll do it. So Jack just lifts their hands and 3 beams erupt out of their fingers and just flatten the guy.
Oh. Neat.
Sunya yawns and puts her bow on her back, like, yeah, well, a little entertainment in the middle.
Could have just gone for her, She was the only one attacked.
They would have gone for me immediately, and frankly, that was unseemly, and then all of a sudden there's just a clapping sound. Holy shit, that was great.
That was
Speaking
Keldon.
Yeah, it was Keldon.
We should probably make sure that these 3 don't come back. Statues.
Oh no. If I may, could you just
I was going to
Could you
send
bring
them
him in
up as high as I could and then just drop them.
No. Could you, Jack looks at you. Can you keep a secret? Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. Can you bring him into the back with me?
Well, right now,
Oh, dear.
Morvan has like his head, his eyes covered his head. Can you?
Oh,
You-
you no. Trust me, it's always been active. I just happen to not be a young dumbass about it.
So I can look.
You can look at me just fine so long as I don't want to turn you to stone, and I frankly don't want to turn you to stone.
Can I just say, Jack? I know that you don't like me, but I've always admired you, and this just proves me right. Now, where am I sending your 3 friends?
Just follow me into the back. Bertha, could you open the door for us? Bertha opens the door.
Is there a bard around here? I need some jaunty traveling music for these.
We make holes in teeth.
He makes the statues do a little shuffle dance as they go, and he's just like humming off to.
All right, would you just follow me? Yeah, great, thanks, appreciate that. Come on, bring them by.
I can't move them, Appos.
Yes, you can.
Right, go
Let's
on,
see.
follow Jack.
Okay, and Jack goes into the back room, and you see them fiddle with the bookcases, which opens up a back room that has just a huge pile of stone fragments, and you see a few like stone arms and stuff in the pile.
Can I just have a little memento of some description of hers?
Yeah, sure.
Morvan would be like,
You like
oh,
just
that's
snap off a
where
finger
that
or
guy
something?"
went.
I'm glad you guys are doing this outside of my
Yeah,
hearing because
Jack-
my
Jack-
plan was to eventually free them from their petrification.
I mean, do you have an objection with Jack taking them off?
Well, I have no idea what he's doing with them, so I just assumed he was going to take them to safekeeping.
I mean, you're not wrong.
He's putting
You're
him
not
in
really
jail in
wrong.
a way.
So, yeah, you could hold on. Let me just get that for you. And they pop a finger off and offer it out to you. Just yeah, there you go. Right in here.
Oh, absolutely. Go on, follow Jack. Do exactly as she said. They
I don't really care. Yeah, that works. Yeah.
do exactly as she says.
No, please no.
I have others.
They,
All
he,
in my
she,
ear.
whichever you feel most comfortable with. I have, frankly, right now, I have more important business to worry about. And they reach over,
Oh, much agreed.
pull out a sledgehammer, and just start wailing on him.
Morvan is going to just close the door.
And you just hear hammering.
Jack, if you need me, I'll be out front. I'll just leave you to
I'm
your
good.
work.
I'm good. I'm good.
Have fun. Da, 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 da.
I
Bertha, check him out.
Grrr.
Thank you, Bertha. Oh, those statues will be taken care of shortly. No worries.
just I'm probably talking to Koresh, making sure he's, I guess of right mind.
Koresh is like, I didn't get to do anything.
Yeah, that's normally the case in positions
So-
of leadership.
Commander, it's probably not the place, but
Go ahead and
are we just going to let Jack continue? Aren't Medusas demonic?
I don't know if I have this kind of knowledge. Are Medusas demonic?
You can give me an Arcana check or a
Ooh,
nature
I'd
check.
help with that.
Dahlia, hearing this, says out loud and very firmly, "No."
You don't know enough about this to know for sure. Morvan, Medusae are not generally considered demonic creatures. They are elemental in nature.
I'm inclined to agree with Dahlia here personally. Not only has Jack done exceedingly right by all of us, and especially all of you, but Medusae are not demonic at all. And even if they were, has Jack done anything that would demonstrate that they are not worthy of your trust and affection? Would you betray a friend, Padre?
Koresh just points to the gate. I mean, they did just they did just petrify 3 people and take them into a back room.
Yeah,
Yes, but
we attacked them.
How does that differ from taking them into arrest and putting handcuffs on them? Eh?
I mean, I would have been more efficient with it. I would have just, you know.
I'm actually in a great position to teach you about this, seeing as I was possibly in a similar position of you, only I actually did act.
Koresh actually looks legitimately interested.
It is best to defend your friends if needed, but when seeing something like that happens, let it happen. Or you will get yourself into a bit of trouble, as I have done so regarding the rat catchers. And I do look over at Keldon again. Regarding your son.
Oh, right, Commander. Well,
God.
I'm going to have to skip town.
I need to talk to you before you do so. Funny enough, with your vote, I trust you more than most of the others on the council.
Oh, neat. What can I do for you, Commander?
What do you know of Martigran Grey?
I know he's a dick.
I know he also has a bunch of your rat catchers.
And he looks at the 3. I mean, not these 3, they're mine.
Obviously. But I mean at Dark Hill.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, his family, like, or his in-laws or something. I don't freaking know. They kind of own everything. So
you're what? Are you just like a leader of a branch, or are you supposed to be the leader of the rat catchers?
Oh, no. I'm just the guy who runs it here. That happens to be like the biggest office. Imagine me like
You're essentially like the commander of the Dragon Fort. They're not the leader of the cadre. They're just the leader of the cadre here.
Yeah. As far as like the leader of the rat catchers, like I don't rightly think there is one. I mean, technically, Carrick can have me strung up by my guts, but
Carrick.
Yeah, Carrick. Shit, what was his name? Sighart.
Carrick Sighart.
Yeah,
he's the one located at Dark Hill.
Yeah.
Interesting. Thank you for the information.
Right on. Well, I need to go get ready to skip town because it's about to not be really safe to be me.
Exactly. I don't blame you. Safe travels to you.
Yeah, if I ever run into you again, don't hammer me in the face.
I will hopefully not do so, as long as
let's get the fuck out of here, boys. And Keldon and his men book it.
Right.
About this time, Jack comes out, comes up behind the counter, and
Jack, you have a little on your. He uses Warbear uses Mage Hand to kind of like dust off Jack's shoulder. You had a little something. On your...
thank you there.
My pleasure.
As a token of my esteem, and due to recent influx, I'm gonna increase all of your accounts by about 5,000 Jack.
That's
I mean,
very kind of you.
that's really great, of course, but how's this all going to affect you, Jack?
Oh, I reckon. Well, let's see. I just killed 4 people. Keldon's leaving, so whoever's in charge of the rat catch is probably going to put a hit out on me. And the whole concept of Jack's running things is essentially over. So I got to get in touch with my boss and find something else to do.
I can't
Maybe.
imagine she's going to be very happy about this.
Oh, no. She's not a big fan of just sudden outbursts like that, but I just...
No
yeah,
one.
that was unbecoming.
I honestly don't even begrudge you of that. You have a right to defend yourself, guys. Granted, I still would have just gone with just a 1 and then let the others make their move so that you could once again claim defense again.
Yeah, but I might have to go join Keldon. Not like specifically Keldon, but like
Join what he's doing, which is hiding.
yeah.
Well, really,
I don't.
should-
There's not real now that it's known who I am. It's not really going to be safe for us. And
Maybe instead of increasing our accounts by 5,000 Jacks, we can just trade all our Jacks for gold.
yeah, I could do that. And,
Yeah.
you know what? I have the accounts, and I'll leave the gold for the account and the ledgers for the accounts that are outstanding. But as far as yours and mine, like let's be real, I don't have enough space on me to carry everything. So why don't I just give each of y'all a decent chunk, and Commander, I'll make a generous donation to the running of the Dragon Fort, and then I will cease existing for a while.
So, is this in Jacks or gold? Because I have a feeling Jacks are
it's
not
going to
going
be
to be
gold.
worth very much soon. So how
Right.
much? So how much gold do we? I mean, she would change her 1,800 remaining Jacks into 180 gold in an instant, and then whatever
Yeah,
else
let me-
Jack
let
is
me-
going to get.
Yeah, let me do a quick calculation, and I shall get that for you. D&D. We got the cycle 3, and then we have Jack accounts. So Dane is 0, Dahlia is up to 8, Samus is up to 5, Sunya is up to 6.
I show 1,800 remaining Jacks, which is 180 gold, right?
Yeah, so you would get so Sunya, you can go ahead and add 680 gold. Stannis can add 539 gold. Dahlia can add 825 gold.
Nice.
Because they're just converting the 5K they were gonna give you straight to gold.
Does Morvan get anything?
Morvan can go ahead and take 500.
Woo!
We're rich.
At least by this game's terms.
Right?
And Wilhelm, are you coming with me, or would actually? You know what, Wilhelm, my man, boss. Jack grabs him and gives him a teary hug and just says, "You've been the greatest friend a
You've been great, man.
giant petrifying person could ever hope to have. I want you to run the place while I'm gone." Wilhelm says, You just want me to make sure that nobody steals your shit. I want you to make sure nobody steals my shit.
Oh.
Can I keep Bertha? Jack looks over at Bertha. Stannis, could you do a 1d20 roll for
1d20. That's a 15.
Bertha looks at Wilhelm and then Jack and just goes, "Me think so." Well, I need to go pack a few things and destroy a couple rooms. So
One of them with a lot of stone pieces in it.
So, Wilhelm, dear, could you give our beloved associates here whatever you're willing to part with? And Jack goes into some back rooms. So you are left alone in what may no longer be Wild Jack's in a few weeks.
We should certainly make it a point to leave as well within the immediate future.
Wilhelm renames it the Stone Eye Bar.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking of a few names. I'm thinking the council chambers or board of directors.
Location or site of the first and only Council of the Crossroads.
I wonder what happens when Sarah gets missed.
Pretty sure Jack's planning to be long gone by that point.
We too should be
And
long gone by
If
then.
he was smart, he
To
would have
be-
simply turned himself into Sarah and taken her place.
That's what I was going to say out of character.
And to be honest, I'm willing to bet that that void won't exist for very long.
This could be the first battle in a very, very long war.
They're gonna get what they deserve.
No, I mean more
Yes.
looking at the big picture. For the longest
That's what I was
time,
doing
the
as
political
well.
situation has been very delicate, with every faction being incapable of upsetting the others. With Epsland falling, more or less, to the elves, the balance has shifted. I doubt they'll stop here.
Oh, they won't.
I am almost certain that they're not going to, and it's because of Marty.
Oh, speaking of, can you not mention the Flint Cane in front of people?
Seriously.
Do you have
And I
any
actually
idea?
And I actually have something to say about that. I may be friends with you, and I look over to Dahlia, and I know my wife loves you very dearly. But you both undermined me when I was speaking as commander of the cadre.
I don't serve the cadre.
And neither do I, and you need to remember that there are people out there who know what the Flint Cane is, and who know what that means. You need to think beyond yourself, Stan.
I am
mean,
thinking for the betterment of this realm. Do you not see what this could potentially be?
You
This is a new. I blurted it out. Because I believe that this is Marty.
Yeah.
He can't get us through fear. He's getting the elves to do it for him.
Then just say the Watcher or Martidrin. Don't say the Flint Cane. You can mention Martidrin all you want. The Flint Cane is the one that they need to not know about. Because as soon as it's realized that there's an ancient dwarven cane who has access to the city that all the elves want to get to in order to steal their resources, you're looking at quite the war. Quite the change.
Not to mention that if anybody was actually serving him here, you gave away the fact that we're standing against him without them even having to suss it out for themselves.
With this,
So-
Stannis, I would agree. You do not show all your cards to them.
regardless
And
of
for-
the fact.
And for that matter, also remember, Stannis, you aren't just a member of the cadre. You're also our friend and ally. You need to think about us as well.
I serve the cadre, not you.
You can.
Oh,
I didn't say that you served us, child. I said that you were our friend.
I walk
well,
out.
okay. Well, I guess not.
Save me from the stubbornness of dwarves.
It was the
Sunya
fact that
would have a very strange look on her face, a little bit on the confused side. She's thinking something over in her rather slow way.
Korash comes over and sits at the bar. Wilhelm just doesn't even say anything and just hands him an ale. He takes one, clink.
So, Dahlia, Sunya, where to next?
We still must continue to aim at this person who wishes to harm the realm, whether we serve under dwarves or we serve under others.
Service is overrated. You should always work for yourself.
Yourself is the only one who won't betray you.
Yourself and your friends.
I'll drink to that.
As will I. Sunya, here. Wilhelm, another drink for Sunya, please. I think, and for Torash. I think we all could use one. And you know what? Pour one for yourself as well, and Bertha too.
What sort of spirits?
Ale. I can drink more that way and not fall on the floor.
That'll be a total of a gold. We only accept gold here now.
She tosses a gold to the counter without
Here's
second.
Here's 10 gold. Just take it.
Alright. So, Wilhelm will feed you all as much, piecemeal out as much ale as you guys want, up to 10 gold.
Can I have a piece of paper, please? I'm going to send a letter to Anstra.
Suddenly the door kicks in. What the fuck is going on in here?
The Crossroads is now property of the Ironwood Empire. Welcome. Care for a drink?
I don't want to fucking drink, and you shouldn't be drinking either.
The visions are more fun when I'm drunk.
I mean, I can see that, but where's
you
Jack?
see them? Are you able
Where's
to...
Jack? Where is...
Jack has gone on vacation for a while. It was better for his health.
She's in the back room preparing.
Excuse me a
Also,
moment.
just so you were aware, Sarah is no longer part of the Cross. She got a little stoned.
I knew that was coming sooner or later.
Speaking of stones, Dahlia, I had an interesting vision that led me out of this chamber earlier. I saw a bush and a pile of gold and a cave just collapsing into flames. I assume from the flames that you would know something about it.
Well, of course, because it's flames. It's got to do with me. She's totally joking. And it's obvious that she's joking. I don't know. Honestly, since the thing happened, I haven't really interacted much with that side of myself.
Well, perhaps it will reveal
Sorry.
itself in time. No. But we do need to figure out what to do in the... How do we go against our enemy?
If you ask me, the direct route is always the best.
Well, we tried the direct route, or you all have from what you told me. And I'd rather not be elf number 2 to die. I've
Getting
read all
just
the horror
very
novels.
slightly tipsy, she goes, "Death or glory?"
I would rather have the glory then. I don't know about you, but I think redeeming, or at least freeing Marty from the influence of that creature would be, just swell.
That's what I want. He's my friend.
And if nothing else, can you just imagine taking him from the Flint? It'd be perfect.
Oh, it'd
The
be
look
so
on
much
his
fun.
the look on his little dwarf face. Or
Does he have a little? Okay, so you've interacted with him. What's he like?
Marty? Oh, he's a little arrogant, but he has a good heart.
No. You were like possessed by the Flint King. What's he like?
What's the? There's only one word I can use to describe it, dear, and I do apologize. He was a planet.
I like to know these things because it's not very often that I get to talk to somebody else who's been possessed by something.
I don't recommend it.
Me neither.
Also, he's into some
What
really
the heck?
weird. He's into some really weird kink. The things that he and that Spider Woman did.
I'm pretty sure I don't actually want to know.
Oh, I thought you said Cranit. I'm like, what?
No, a planet.
Lord. All right. So, your Jack accounts are now closed. You all have your gold amount.
How much it was going to be given to the cadre?
He was gonna drop like 5,000 gold on the cadre.
Okay.
Basically, he's liquidating everything they're liquidating everything they own and like have enough to live comfortably, and then they're giving the rest as a generous donation to the cadre.
That is where I would be making my way to, by the way, is the dragon.
Okay. All right, are you going by yourself or?
Oh yeah, like I said, I pretty much walked out.
Okay.
Sunya previously would have joined him, but she won't now.
Oh, she won't now? Okay. Well, if she wanted to, she could, but
that's the look that was on her face.
Okay. So you make your way over to the Dragon Fort. And as you are getting there, Jack is not over there anymore. You don't know where Jack is.
Right.
I mean, technically, Jack's still at Jack's, but you get to the Dragon Fort, and it's about exactly as you left it the other day. Nothing's really changed, and it's a little it might be a touch unsettling because you left the council room and there's all that chaos in there, and outside everything seems just exactly the way it was a couple hours ago.
Right. I would, I guess, make my way directly to Stelrash first.
Get in. It seems like the dragons are nowhere to be found. And you get in, and there are cadre milling about doing their duties and training, and Salrash is sitting at her desk with her leg elevated. All of a sudden, you come in. She goes, so, how did the council go?
We are submitting ourselves to the Ironwood. That being the crossroads, obviously, where us are still independent.
Shit.
Exactly. I was hoping that Kritranis and Saraya or Sankrani would be here so that we could get some guidance on this as well.
I think Kritranis went looking for there was some trail or something that might have led to Galkranis that he was investigating. As far as Sankrani and Staranis, I think they're resting. The young one finally fell asleep. She looks at her leg.
I make no motion for that. I guess I'll defer to you as command to when you think is best to try to get them involved in this matter.
The best. I would rather talk to Kritranis too, but I'll have to make a report to Cadre Talir and let them know that the Crossroads has chosen a new path, and it's one that they have chosen, correct? Were they manipulated in any way or coerced, as far as you can tell?
As far as I could tell, no. One looked like to be, but he gave a solid answer after I urged him to choose what he believes, not what others believe.
Oh, so you did. Oh, good. Well, we, among the cadre, we, as you know, we have to allow the places that we operate self-determination. Otherwise, that means we're getting involved. And from all the reports that I've seen, Ironwood's been just as supportive and a surrounding community to be a part of as any other. In fact, in some ways more so, because they value the stability that they understand summoning demons is harmful for everyone.
OOC Lee, remind me, is Crossroads under the Sun King throne?
No. The Crossroads in Exland is like no man's land. Like it's the village. Like it's essentially one of the last it was one of the last totally free places, and the Crossroads is the oldest of the free cities.
Trying to figure out where the dominoes will fall.
Yeah, there is nobody except Exland who lays claim to it. However, the countries that are south of the Crossroads will take notice.
I'll go on to say, I've been paranoid as of late regarding this matter of the Flint King, and I believe that we did get through to him in a way of fear is not to unite the people, so he's going to try to unite them way, and I think the Ironwood is his different way.
Do you have any proof?
No, unfortunately I don't. Like I said, this is just me being paranoid.
Let me put it this way. I've spoken with the central authority, with the council, and but specifically the Amberline counselor, and she expressed that should we have proof of the Watcher trying to control everyone, should the people choose that path. Essentially, the instruction I was given was something to the effect of anyone who chooses that path, any nation that chooses that path should be allowed to. But if it's being done through war and conquest, we are permitted to intervene.
That is good to know in the future.
Because this individual is going around and from what you've told me and others is detonating things to try to intimidate people. I would have preferred a more direct answer of mount the dragons and go to war, but we need to tread cautiously because there's a difference between protecting people and telling them what to do.
Hey.
Well, good work. If you're willing, I will resume command of the cadre at the Dragon Fort.
I go ahead and take off the commander's pendant and hand it over to her.
She takes it and puts it
I
back.
do have one other piece of news. While Jack is making a generous donation of 5,000 gold, they're also going to be leaving town.
Neat.
So is Keldon, by the way, of the rat catchers.
Oh, do we know who's going to be in charge of the rat catchers?
No, I do not. He is leaving town because he's going to fear that the rat catchers are going to put a hit on him for some reason.
Well, this certainly changes things here in town.
Oh, there's a lot of changes going around. New leadership everywhere.
But you think that Ironwood is
I don't
under
think
the control of the Watcher, or
I don't think under control, but being manipulated. I don't have proof that one way or the other, though.
in order to do anything about it, we would need proof.
And I wouldn't even know where to start.
Ironwood.
Ironwood's a big place, and I've never been there.
Me either. But if that's where you want to, if that's what you want to pursue, that's where I would go. Or Critranus has been looking for Galcranus for some time and thinks he may have a viable lead.
That was going to be my next choice of destination with your approval due to Commander Yokovith's last command to me.
I'm the commander of the Crossroads. You are of the rank of commander from Alaris, even though there is another commander there now. But I can give you recommendations. I can't technically order you unless you submit yourself to my command.
I mean, I already assumed that I had done so with Yokovith coming here.
All right, then I'll just put both of these on your plate. We don't seem to be under any sort of
Time constraint.
particular time constraint. So I know you have your associates. Confer with them then.
Yeah. And I just give it a long, very awkward pause. I'm not on good terms with them right now.
Well, I have no one to spare, unfortunately, particularly if there's going to be a change in complete society here at the Crossroads.
Understandable. I will do what I can then. And I'll give you reports as they come through, mostly through sending.
Sounds good.
Anything else, Commander?
We did get some. So we did get word. Let me dig through there. There was a couple of reports. Hold on a moment. And She goes and digs through a few things. There was a message that came from Alaris, from your daughter.
Oh.
And it wasn't much, and she hands it over to you.
Yep, and I look at it.
And it says for Sunya. It's addressed to Sunya.
Oh, it's a letter.
It's a letter addressed to Sunya.
Has it been tampered with?
Give me an investigation check.
Investigation. That's a 15.
It does not appear to be. It looks pretty intact.
Okay. And I put it into my armor, because that's what I did with the more important things. I'll make sure that this gets to Sunya. I'm under the assumption it's the message to the Luxkin people. A message, reply from the Luxkin people.
I don't know. I did not read it.
Well, I won't either. I'll give it to Sunya.
And if there's nothing else,
Nothing else to report. At least, I'm trying to think if there's anything else to report. Anything really noteworthy. Yeah, no, nothing that I can remember. So then, yeah, as soon as she says dismissed, I go ahead and out.
all right, dismissed.
And I guess I start back to Wild Jacks, or whatever it's called.
Well, it's still Wild Jacks, technically.
Yep.
At some point in this whole time period, Dahlia has switched from apple juice to hard cider and
Oh,
is
God.
3 sheets to the wind.
Give me a con save.
I'm glad that I'm not there.
So Stannis, as you re-enter,
Oh, damn it.
Korath and Sunya are like stamping out some fire, and Wilhelm has just dumped water like all around Dahlia.
Dahlia seems oblivious to the fact that things are catching on fire and is just kind of drunkenly spewing out ideas that are not good ones.
Wilhelm, you know not to give her the hard stuff.
What? What
she,
if?
She paid. She paid.
What if? Okay. We join my cult. She's saying this to Morvan, and she's poking him in the chest while she's asking.
Dearie, no pulse. We need to fix things, not add to the problem.
That's how we fix things, because they'll follow me. They'll listen to me. Nobody else listens to me. Everybody else is like, Dahlia, you're so dumb. Dahlia, you're just a stupid girl and you don't know anything.
Dahlia.
But they'll listen.
Hey, Dahlia,
None
you're
of us
drunk.
think that you're dumb.
You're drunk.
Oh, fuck off.
And I just go over to Sunya.
Why
Hey,
are
look
you here?
Dahlia, be nice. He is still our friend.
I'm
Yeah,
mad at him.
I ignore her and I just pull out the letter. Seems me daughter got through to your people, Sunya. And I hand her the letter.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stannis. And she
Aye.
takes it rather formally.
Does she open it?
Not in his sight, but she will kind of move away and open it
Oh, yeah.
and read it.
I give her privacy.
But yes, she will read it as soon as she can step away.
Yeah, so there's the letter.
Where there? Oh, I can't go under.
Oh, you can't do it. Okay, so I will message it to you in chat.
Oh, excuse me.
Don't know if this will go. How can I get this to you? Because I don't know. If
Let me use my phone. I can do that.
And then I go and sit down right next to Dahlia.
Anyway, here's
Okay,
what
I
we
got
do.
it.
Is we go to the cult, right? And then I'll make them fight against the Watcher. And they'll be like, yeah, that's great, because our apocalypse is the only apocalypse we want.
Well,
Mr.
that is how
Stannis,
cults work.
Aye.
my letter, in addition to some disturbing news, also had a sentence of well wishes from your daughter. She wishes you well and asks that you take care of yourself.
Thank you for letting me know.
Then I tell them that they can go and live good, healthy lives, and they can always light candles in remembrance of me. And then I'm gonna go find Jack again, because you know what? Rock beats fire.
Yes, it does, but
And
I wanted to
then
talk about
there,
this once you've sobered up, dear.
then there won't be any more problems, you know? Because then I'll be a statue. And I'll be the best statue ever.
Hey,
And
William.
then nobody's gonna get hurt, right? Because I'll be a statue.
Hey, Wilhelm, how about some water for?
Actually, maybe statue's not a good idea, because then I could still fall on someone. Maybe not. This is.
It's okay, Dahlia. We will figure out a plan and take care of our enemy.
It's never
Right?
gonna be okay.
Right, Stannis?
I don't say anything to him. He's the one I'm actually upset at.
So,
And Sunya, meanwhile, reads and rereads the letter about 4 times and finally just crumples it and stuffs it into her bag.
Is everything alright, Sunya?
No, things are getting worse in the desert, not better. My people are not doing well.
What happened?
Although they are avoiding the eyes of the Watcher, they are still deteriorating and people are dying.
That is not good.
What a douche. His eyes kill people. That's awful, man. I can relate.
so
It is getting harder for me not to return and try to help them.
Perhaps we probably shouldn't have this conversation while Dahlia is drunk, but what are we going to do? Are we doing it, the 4 of us? 3 of us? 2 of us? Are we going our separate ways?
It would seem to me that would be dependent on Stannis's priorities.
My priorities is to help you. I do have a task that I still intend to finish up, but I am here to help you.
To me, you are always welcome back, as long as you do not put your comrades last.
But your comrades what?
Last.
I never do. I never have.
She just nods. She's not very vocal.
Do you wish to return to the desert, Sunya?
I do, but I will be at your side if you must go somewhere else. However, to know that things are getting worse there, I worry that the Watcher is perhaps doing other things beyond just the evils of the ruins.
But maybe we can go there. Like, we're not doing much good here. Nobody believes us or anything. Because he made us look like complete and total idiots. But maybe we can go there. Maybe we can figure out what those eyeballs are. And maybe if we figure it out, we can help your people and make them stop getting so sick, right?
I grab her shoulder and I cast Lester.
Thalia, you are immediately sober.
Wow, rude.
We need you to be a level mind right now.
I was of perfectly level mind, and I'm glad that you're back, but I'm still a little angry with you. Anyway, I think it is a good idea if we go to the desert.
Is there anything that you can tell us what's going on?
Are you talking to Sunya?
Yeah, to Sunya.
I sent word that they were to stay away from the eyes of the Watcher because I thought that was the center of the illness. But the news is that all across the desert, people are getting more sick and dying faster. My people, there are not enough of us left to have many die before there will be none of us.
Then we gotta go do something. We've got to help them. That's the next right thing, and we have to do the next right thing because right now, the only thing that is staying here is gonna get us arrested and thrown into slavery
Or killed.
or killed.
I would certainly not turn it down if you would go with me there.
Then let's help Sunya's family. And maybe we'll even figure out what the Watcher's up to in the process.
I think perhaps if we can find out why that disease or whatever is being caused by that, perhaps we can help everything. I don't know.
Funny enough, anything regarding the Watcher is part of my current 2 tasks. So this will be something that I can do within the limits of my current orders.
This is good to know.
I just wish Jack hadn't left so fast. I wish I could have said goodbye.
The door suddenly
believe in the
kicks
back
open.
room.
Jack comes in. Jack has like 6 suitcases that they're dragging behind him. Oh, shit, this is way too heavy. Ugh, damn it.
Oh, okay, there he is.
Oh, yeah, no, I had not left. I would not just leave like that. Besides, Ironwood isn't here yet, and I'm pretty sure that the Free Trade Association hasn't heard about the little incident yet, so maybe they just now heard about it, so I got a little bit of time. What's up?
I just wanted to say goodbye. You've been a good friend.
Well, my dear, you are always welcome to darken my door anytime.
If I can find it, I will.
Well, I probably won't be too difficult to find. Well, you may need to remember the voice more than the face.
Was it Marvin, was it you that suggested that Jack just becomes Sarah? That would be hilarious.
Give me a persuasion check.
Not bad.
I'll take it under advisement. However, if you do come back and I have taken that idea under advisement, you'll have to pretend it's
I'll have
not
no
me.
idea what's going on.
Exactly. Though it may just be easier for me to find a totally new life somewhere. It's not the first time, and it certainly won't be the last. Stannis.
Aye.
Your wife has just received a generous severance package, so no idea if she's going to stay in town or not. You'd have to talk to her about it, but she's no longer under my employ, as I no longer have an operation.
That's fine. She's her own woman. I do not judge her by whatever jobs she takes.
Well, more specifically, letting you know that she's not heading out with me. I have no idea what she's planning to do. She's going her own way. I don't know. She may stay here. She may go somewhere else. But you'll have to talk to her about that. I'm going to go, and Jack comes by and comes over to Dahlia and just says, "Can I hug you?"
I was going to ask the same thing.
And they give you a big old hug. Give me a con save. No, I'm just kidding. And comes over to Sunya and just says, "It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope to see your homeland someday."
I would find it an honor if you would visit us, provided I still have a homeland for you to visit.
Well, you'd best get on that. And comes over to Stannis. Well, take care of yourself.
You too, Jack.
Looks over at Morvan, just goes, "Morvan?"
Jack.
And then
Shepherd Rex.
Shepherd. Jack casts Disguise Self and suddenly looks like a very dainty lady of means.
That's so cool.
Whatever. They snap, and a little floating disc appears below their stuff and just lifts up.
And should I
follows
meet
them.
you again, what is your name? I have not met you.
I don't have a habit of handing out my name, just here, and she passes out a Jack to each of you. Just show me that and I'll know what it is.
Thank you.
And with that, the person who was Wild Jack leaves.
Exit stage right.
Okay, so looks like the plan is you all are going to head into the desert.
Yep.
That's the plan.
Only question I have for you: by land or by sea?
Yeah, it's a bit of a journey.
That's a big question.
Because there are only two ways to properly enter the desert without dying. There's the sea route, which goes hold on. Which goes like this, up through Sephiria, and then over to Alaris. So the sea route, the sea route takes you essentially all the way down here, up through Sephiria, and then land in Alaris, and then you can go to the desert that way.
Sunya, it was agreed when she came the first time, she went by land up through Idris, and then took the sea route across.
Yeah, she took kind of a scenic route, because she was doing, she kind of had I think it was something about like, she also had a St. Gonzalo sort of thing with it. This was her route. She went from the desert to Caracas, up through Idris, and then over. So if you're wanting, that would be a third route, but that's a longer route.
Okay, my point being, she has kind of made contacts along the way, and there are places to stay, safe houses, various things. She even has a small shrine she started into the Sunhold area.
Yeah. Okay. So
I think. I was just going to say.
Yeah. So are you going to go the reverse of Sunya's route, the overland route, or the totally by sea route?
Dahlia votes for C.
I think I would vote for C as well. Yeah, knowing Dahlia's thing with the Sunhold, we probably shouldn't go to the Sunhold.
Good point.
Okay, so all right, so then your journey will begin with you all heading south to a port in Cath, and that is where we will end not only the session, but the arc.
It's been fun.
So, thank you
You're
all
on
for
the fifth arc.
So anybody who's watching this or seeing this, thanks for watching. Have fun. Be nice to each other.
We've enjoyed it, and tomorrow night tune in for Crone's Crucible, Waterdeep, that we call Water Dance, some odd things going on.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, all. I hope to see you tomorrow.